Today we're out here for Love Your Wetlands Day at the Kendall-Frost Marsh Reserve. This annual event is put on by the UC Natural Reserve System, San Diego Audubon, the City of San Diego, and lots of volunteers. This is the last remaining bit of wetlands in Mission Bay. It's very sensitive. We have endangered species here, so for most of the year, people usually see it from behind a fence and they don't really know what's going on out here. On Love Your Wetlands Day, the community is invited to come out and explore the wetland, help restore it, and really celebrate this important habitat.
The Mission Bay of today is not how Mission Bay has always been, and the changes that created what we now have are what people wanted a few decades ago. Nowadays, there's just a few places like the Kendall-Frost Marsh where we can come and see what the wetlands used to be in the whole of Mission Bay, and we can experience it up close and see the plants and the birds that live there and help them thrive. Lots of people from the community are joining us, watching birds or learning about the native plants or removing trash and learning to protect the marsh to connect us back to the wetland and how it supports us and how we can support it.
That's an ipai, that's a kumiai. Our connection with the ocean is very important. And for our people, we have known these lands for time immemorial. So to come back and to reconnect with these areas, we are teaching this rich organic science to our next generation. And also teaching others about our people. Many people, they view us as Native people in the past tense. They forget to realize that we have been here in the past, we are here today, and we will be here in the future.
We know how fragile habitats like tidal wetland marsh are. We know how few acres remain in Mission Bay. But days like this, where we can safely get into the marsh, are critical for us to have that experience and that connection opportunity to realize how valuable and how beautiful they are. Since the 1940s and 50s, the bay has become open water and sandy shorelines. But in Kendall-Frost Marsh, we have an example of what those habitats used to look like 75 years ago. A habitat provides the food, water, and shelter that plants and animals need to survive. And in Mission Bay, there are different habitats that support a variety of wildlife throughout the year. Some important habitats within the bay include eelgrass, which is a great source of food for brant geese and a great hiding place for many fish and invertebrates. Tidal mudflats, where birds like to walk around in the mud looking for clams and worms to eat. Tidal marsh. Plants dominate this tidal wetland and offer food and protection to the other organisms that live here. Rose Creek. This is the watercourse that brings fresh water from the mountains all the way to the coast. Animals like halibut, stingrays, and other fish, ospreys and hawks, and ducks live in this mix of fresh and saltwater habitat. Coastal sage scrub. Up on dry land, coastal plants provide a safe habitat for a whole different set of plants and animals. Sages and sunflowers provide food and shelter for rabbits, birds, and butterflies. Perhaps the rarest habitat in this area is the transition ecotone, the highly saline zone dominated by low grasses and succulents between the high marsh that is submerged at the highest tides and the uplands occupied by mostly salt-intolerant coastal sage scrub plants.
When it comes to restoring wetlands and other coastal habitats, reconnecting humans to those areas is a really important part of the puzzle. For so long, this area has been off limit to the public. There's so many communities that have not been able to get out here, including Indigenous communities whose ancestors historically lived here. So making sure that this area is accessible, people can get out here, learn about it, start to love the plants and animals and ecosystem services that are provided by wetlands. It's a really important part of the process, and Love Your Wetlands Day is the perfect opportunity to do it.